Hello everybody, nice to see you again. I hope you liked that short little video this morning on where I got a few bargains from. Well, my name is Mrs. Iris Smith and I'm the owner of a small business in Mansfield called The Flower Patch. I just want to say before I start, welcome to Nicole Fallon. Thank you for subscribing and I hope you enjoy all the videos that you see. First of all, let me move my chair because I don't want it in my way. So we'll move it out of the way. Right, I've chosen to do the little basket. What I've done, and this is one of the bargains that I got this morning, the basket, £1.50 from B&M. So I've put a bit of very like a lilac-y pink cellophane in. I just put it over the top, then I got my Oasis and then I push my Oasis down into it. So all the pleats and everything, that is just caused naturally through pushing the Oasis. And then I cut across the top with my scissors so it's not sticking out or anything like that. I've got 2 pieces of Oasis in, one wasn't enough so I had to put 2 in, standing them on the side. Right, so before we start, let's go through a few of our foliage. I have picked this very bluey textured eucalyptus with just a couple of lavender on, nothing more, and I thought that might look nice against pink. I have also got my lovely dark rubbery textured fern out from Leaf that I'm going to use as well. And I also thought, well, I'll grab a few of these, and also the flocked fern that I could sit coming out of the sides or up above or even in the centre. I've also decided that I'm going to use some lamb's ear. I thought, well, they're only little, they come on little stems. If I can show you one and just hold it out, and that's just the height of the stem, so from the bottom of the stem to the top of the leaf around 8 inches. So I thought I'd use some of those because I tend to like to use these when I'm doing Christmas wreaths and that, so I don't buy them in long stems. I just find, you know, they become more expensive if you buy them in a full stem, and if you can buy them in a pack of, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 I've got here, a pack of 9, that would be enough for one wreath. So I thought I'll add a bit of that in. I've also got my asparagus fern, the rubbery texture, which I adore, which I think softens everything up, and as you can see that's from the company called Leaf as well. I did get out a few wispy bits. These are from my oddments. So I thought, well, we could stick a few of those in because they're very airy and they could look really nice. And again, these are a few of my oddments, and I thought, I mean, I don't know what they're called, but I know the fern, but I think they're just like the fern when they just start to unravel. But I thought we'll add some of those in. I decided to use the coral colour Dusty Miller. As I said this morning, I brought the lilac colour. I've got grey and I've got the green, but I thought I'd use the coral colour, and I think that's absolutely beautiful. And I got that from Dunhelm also, like the one this morning, £4.50 a stem. I've just cut off, I mean these are on the papery stem, just cut off a few of the cream coloured maple leaves, which I thought would go really nice in here too. And I'm going to use this eucalyptus spray that I got this morning from Dunhelm, £2.25 a stem, and I thought that would look nice against the coral colour. And also what I bought this morning, I'm going to use one of those. I call it a palm, but you know, it said something else on the tag, but we're going to use that. And because I bought these also this morning from B&M for £1 a stem. I'm going to incorporate those and see what they actually look like in an arrangement. I've just taken out 3 of my, now I think these are roses, but they say something else. These are actually from IKEA. IKEA also do artificial flowers, so go on their site and have a look. They are quite reasonable, but to me they look like, well, they could be peonies, to be quite honest. I think they are. I think they're little peonies. So I'm going to use 3 of those. I've also taken out from my oddments some pink of my wildflower, what's been cut down and not used. So I thought, well, we'll use those just to brighten it up a bit with a bit of a cerise colour against all the coral. And I've just cut off a stem. I didn't want the full stem, so I've just cut 4 little pieces off of my pinky white blossom. Now, isn't that beautiful? I love blossom, I really do. So they would go also nice. Oh, one moment guys, I think somebody's on my door. One moment. Sorry about that everybody, a delivery, but it wasn't for me, it was for number 10. They always seem to bring number 10's deliveries to me, so I've had to guide him where number 10 is. Right, as I was saying, I've got some Astrantia, and now this is one of my lovely, I loved it even in real flowers, and I really did. It's very, very nice, and I thought again, with a bit of a deep, like a burgundy with white, would look also nice in with it. And I've got these 3 small little allium pom-poms. Oops, I can see something on them, which was also in my oddments, and I thought I could add those, just dot them, just the 3 around. And I've got oddments from my sunflowers, and I've decided to get these ones out. And I thought they could look nice and set off all the pink, because I know I've got a lot of pink, but we do also need to mix something in it, what's lighter or even darker, just to set off those light colours. And then I've got this carnation spray, what is like a cerise pink as well. I've been fluffing them up while I've been getting things out, and yeah, I've got those ones as well, the 2-tone. And finally, of course, guys, you're gonna know my white calla lilies, and this is what I'm going to put in for the airiness, and also the white to blend against all the pinks and the corals and the greens. So that is what we're going to do today. If I need to put any longer stems on, I will add longer stems to them. That's not a problem. At least then they'll get used up, and you know, they won't be sat in a box for months and months. I'd rather use my oddments as well, because by not using your oddments, you're just collecting things up, and it's just going to get quite, you know, you're full, and you're just going to end up not knowing what to do with them. I've done that before. When I first started, I took things apart. I didn't know what to do with them, so I just put everything in a little bucket, and they was there for, could have been a year or 2. And then I just decided, let's use them. And then from then on, that's what I do. So if we just move everything down here and get it all down, so we've got room to work. So you can either have this container as a 360 degrees display, or a front facing one where everything is just at the front and nothing at the back. Now I was in 2 minds whether to put this in the centre and work around it, so you've got 2 sides to it, so people, if you have it on a table, people can see that side or even the back of it, well, the back of where I'm standing anyway. So if I just cut this down, because I don't want it long, And let me just see. I think I want to do a 360. Instead of just always doing the front facing, we're going to do a 360, everybody. We're going to do a different one. So I'm not covering the top because I've got that much here, especially with the big sunflowers and things like that, the Dusty Miller, that will all cover this. So we're going to place it in the centre. Now I'm going to go quite far down with this. And let's just manipulate it where it should be. So that's how it's going to start off. Excuse me. So now I want to put in some of my asparagus fern. Just clean the stems. Because they've been in a bucket, some of them, you know, of my oddments, I really do like to clean the stems especially. And I'm going to be putting these, as you're looking at it, it looks like it's coming through this side. From the behind where I am looking at it, it's just leaning off to the side. And you can also pop things in through your, let me just push this further down. And pop things in through your cellophane, through these holes where the wires are. And that will also give it an extra touch and more of a fulfillment. So I'm going to put one here. And sit that there. These do bend. So I'll place that there. I'm going to take this one in two. Because I've got the bigger one here on the back, with I want to put a longer one here on this side at the front. Any excess glue, if you can reach it, wipe it off. And then it'll give you more room to put more stems. Because once the glue's dry, you won't be able to get any stems through the glue. So then you're wasting space. And then I'll put one just coming out from there. So that is at the moment we're using with our asparagus fern. There we go. Now our eucalyptus, I'm going to get some coming through our cellophane. Cut it at a 45-degree angle to make sure, you know, you've got a sharp point and that it will go through. If it was flat on the end, it won't go through your cellophane. So I want to put this one here, and there you go. It's gone straight through the cellophane, and that's hanging over. And I'm going to dot a few of those around. I think I'll glue that one in. It doesn't look quite safe. I always check, you know, just to see if they look like they're going to stay in. And just, if not, glue it on. And then just remove the excess glue around the top of your stem so it doesn't show and the customers won't see it either. Again, cut them all your stems, not just these, all your stems at 45-degree. And I'm going to put one a bit further down, and again that one's come over. So I've got one what's I think quite tall. I'm going to put that at the top. And because of the oddments and I have used them, there's some of them I've taken out of something that I don't think, you know, something's not right, and I've left bits of glue on, so I will remove that glue. That does come off very easily. that there. And then the one, this one hasn't got a stem in the bottom, so I'm going to have to add on a pick. Just get my tape and put the pick right at the top and go above the pick where you've put it in and go on the actual stem of the flower or the foliage, and then twist it round to come onto the pick, so it gives it just that slight bit of extra support, and then just twist it down and tear it off. And to get this to, it's got stickiness in it, and just by pulling it activates the sticky side of it. So I'm going to put this one here as well. I'm going to just wipe any glue off around the bottom. It doesn't matter if it's leaning. I want a natural look. I don't want something that's going to make it look unnatural. I've got another one with the lavender on, which is shorter stem, but we'll put that amongst the back and let that just lean over on that side. I've got 2 pieces left. I've got one what hasn't got a stem on again, so just do the same thing. Just get your tape going around. And then cut it to 45-degree angle. And I'm going to put this one here. So that one also is hanging over. Because I've got this, just one of these left, I'm going to put this. I think I've got some more. I can't see them, the bucket's so full. I'm going to put this one at the back and go through the cellophane at the back. So then that's like that. Now I'm going to get my fern. And again, I'm going to place this in places as well. And the fern will soften it, just like the asparagus fern. And I'm going to go through the side here, through the cellophane. It's great that you can go through the cellophane. I bet a lot of people didn't realise that you can. As long as you put that 45-degree angle on, which is really, really sharp, like a needle pin, it will go through. And again there. Just clear the stems. Oh guys, I've already had somebody's already texted me about the fruit one that we did last night or yesterday. Wanted to know if it's for sale. Yes, everything I make is for sale. So that one's now sold, and also the purple one that we did as well, that is also now sold. So they will be going next week, and that will also be going next week as well. Get a longer stem because that one's quite short. And then glue this in. Remove any of the excess glue around the neck of the top of the neck. I call it a neck, right at the top. I'm going through the back here. Well, I say back, through the other side. And I'm trying to just leave these to just hang over so they look really, you know, make it look full. It also gives you like a feeling like you see this palm in the centre and you think, oh, what's on the other side? You turn it around and you've got very similar. So it's an all-rounder. It's not just, you know, front facing like I've said. Very easy to do, and these baskets are lovely. It reminds me of a little shopping basket when you go to a supermarket. That's what it actually reminds me of. And if you wish and you want to bring something lower, like, you know, your lamb's ear, and you want to add that at the bottom, you can go right to the bottom if that's what you wish to do. And just keep going until you're happy, and do your arrangement at the bottom and perhaps put fruit at the top. And sit a few pieces of fruit in the top, even if it's real fruit, you know, proper fresh fruit, edible fruit. You know, you could do that, get a little basket. I know in B&M, I must say as well, guys, when I was wandering around, I did see a lot of like wicker baskets. So if you have a B&M near you, Julie or Sandra or anybody else, there's some wicker baskets. So if you'd like to do a fruit one with a small wicker basket, they're not the exact same as me, but they are like woven, you know, and things like that to choose from. So they do have quite a few in B&M. I did spot those. So that's another place, you know, the same place to go and get some. And then we'll put this one slightly higher. Bring that there. So that's what we have at the moment. I've got 2 pieces left and I could easily put them there, but because we haven't got no fern at the top, I'm going to put these at the top. I can always, you know, get some more out, or get the asparagus fern, cut it into smaller pieces and put it, you know, at the bottom. Let me just cut that one. And I'm going to put that one at an angle. I'm going to wipe the excess glue. And do the same with this one on the opposite side. Place it at a diagonal position. And again, these do bend. So if you think it's bended too much, you know, just bring it back up and maneuver it into a position that you'd like it to sit. Let me just put that asparagus fern there. Right, I've got the grey eucalyptus. So we're going to cut all of these off because I want to use every one of them. And these also push up, so you can have all your leaves at the top. If you want to make it into a little like flower, and you could place them at the bottom, or even maybe right at the bottom here. I don't want it like that, but I don't want it too long either. I want to sit this against this coral palm. So I'm going to put one here, and again wipe off your glue at the bottom. Just be careful because sometimes it can be quite hot. I mean, I think my fingers are used to it by now. I think they've toughened up. let's just have a look from this side. I'm going to put one here. We will still see the palm, but we, you know, I'm not so fussed like we did with the Buddha. I'm not so fussed about covering majority of it. I'm going to place one here. Right, once I've just cut that, let me just get this fluff off. A bit of the stem has come away from the wire. I don't know if you can see. It's come away. So what I do, I get my clippers and I take it as far as it goes and take the little green bit that's come away from the wire off. It won't hurt. You can either, if you want, put some tape around it, but there's really no need, guys. And then because I've got these, I want to stick a couple out either side. And we'll do the same. Oh, and concerning this, the pampas grass on the ring, when I was looking at it after I finished the small little video this morning, pampas grass does, you know, the feathers do go everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Just get your hairspray, spray it over with your hairspray, all the feathers. It won't go hard, just spray it, and that will prevent all the fluffy pampas grass from falling, and it'll keep it in place, and because it can get everywhere. So that's another tip for you all. I've done it not for a customer, you know, when I very first tried the pampas grass years ago. Oh, and it just went everywhere. Every time you moved the arrangement, bits of it kept falling off. So I sprayed hairspray on it. Thought, well, if it puts it, you know, it holds my hair in, fluffy, very fine, it's going to hold in the pampas grass, and it sure did. So, and it stops all the flakiness of those leaves. Right, let me leave those out a moment. I've got now the fern. I want to put some around the bottom. And these are the flocked fern. And guys, if you really want to, you know, you're just starting out, you're a beginner, anything like that, and you haven't got the funds to buy really expensive flowers. I mean, I was the same when I very first started. I didn't have the funds. I've got something on here. Let me put a new one on. And I didn't have the funds to do it, to get expensive quality flowers. But now, after a lot of research, excuse me, people have asked me, you know, where can they get cheaper flowers from? They can't, you know, they're just starting out. They can't afford the luxury ones. I suggest have a look on Shein and have a look on Temu. They have got hundreds and hundreds of artificial flowers. Once you go on their site, just type in artificial flowers, or if you're looking for greenery, artificial greenery. Type in one or the other and you will get an abundance of them. So that's what I suggest for you guys, because it can become quite expensive. Just going to place one here. I've taped two together because I pulled them off the stem and it wasn't very good. And I'll put another one at the bottom. See, I don't mind if these are, when they're on a cabinet or wherever you want to place them, a table, I don't mind these touching the floor, because not everything I do, I don't put everything away from the floor. I do like to see something spread along the bottom, right at the bottom. It's just another texture. Let me take this tape off of this. I want to see why I put tape on. And that's another thing. If you've got oddments and you've put tape on it, sometimes I take it off just to have a look. There's nothing wrong with it, so I don't need all that tape on. And then I'll put another one up here. And again, remove the glue. Now I've got one left. I could get another one. Let me just grab another one, everybody. There we go. And I've got tape around this. Don't want that. Gosh, I can't get the tape off my fingers. Yeah. This is the one's got more on it. I just wonder. I'm going to put that right near the centre of the palm. I want that to hang over like it would, like if it was a, you know, weeping willow. Let it hang. Well, hopefully, guys, my son will hear about his car tomorrow morning. I went to the garage and I gave him a few words because I thought he was messing my son about. So, me being his mother, I won't stand for that, because they do tend to, some mechanics tend to home in on young people or even the elderly or women, especially if they don't know nothing about cars. So I had to have a few words with the guy, and I says, and you won't, made him, and I promised, he did the handshake. So here where we are, a handshake means you can't go back on your word. So, yeah. He said he's not going to charge my son any more money than what he's first quoted him. Even though he's found another problem, he won't do it. So I made him handshake. And I said, I told him he's got a week to get it sorted. I says, otherwise we'll fetch the car and we'll just take it somewhere else, what will do it in a day. So yeah. Excuse me. I'm very protective over my children. I know they're adults, but I am very protective. Get the glue off. So he's gone to work today in my car. So he's been going to work for the last 4 weeks in my car. So I've had to work my life around his rota at work. But that doesn't matter. He's my son. So we've sorted it. Now I'm going to put these again on the top, all around. It's just like the similar look at the back to what it is. I'll say at the back. I'll call one the back and one the front because that's the easiest. So I'm just manipulating these the stems. I don't want them to look all in one. I want them to look natural. Then I'm going to put that one in the corner here as well. And again, wipe that little bit of glue. So at the moment I won't be using any of those. I want to get these in. I think I'm going to put one there. Or I may put these actually in the centre, one either side. Just slightly, yeah, slightly leaning. These have got wood picks on, what I've placed on quite a while ago. I've not ordered any more, like I said guys, I've not ordered any. Because I find them very expensive. I think the wired ones are much better. Especially if you're doing a reef or anything, you can manipulate it to bend. So I'll stick it to the wired ones. Each to their own though. Right, so that's that. I've got these two here. Oops. Put that there. I'm considering putting these around the bottom. And I'll put one here. I'm just going to place these in. There's no particular order that I'm placing them in. All it is a little bit of a different fern. Just two of my oddments. I'll place it here. Right. I do have the Dusty Miller. And you know, I could also put that at the bottom. So let me just take the tag off. And I'm going to cut these right down. So I've got none on here. Don't want the stem. Right, I've only got two pieces here, but I'm going to cut pieces off individually. So I've got more of them to move around at the bottom and place some, you know, around. Things just like that. And that's the best thing about artificial. You can get as much as you want from a stem, depending on how you want to cut it. That's quite a nice one. That's big. Right, I've got 6. So where's the biggest ones? There. So with the biggest ones, I'm going to put those at the side. So just gather them up in your hand like that, so they don't get any glue on them. And I'm going to put them in the centre. Let me just hold it right. And even a thicker stem will go through your cellophane, everybody. And that's covering the look, majority of it at the bottom. And the same with this. And I'll place that one also there. And that one's also like that. So I've got 4 left. So I'm going to put 2 each at the front and at the back. I'm just looking at the 2 that are the smallest. That's quite big. That's quite big. So I want 1 small, 1 big together. So on this side I'm going to put a small one just here. Push it in, and that's a small one. So with the larger one, I'm going to put it next to it. Just make sure you get majority of your glue off, because you don't want your glue spreading all over your cellophane. And just make sure that that one's sitting perfect. Like that. And then on the back, because I've got the bigger one there, I'm going to put the bigger one on the opposite side, because otherwise, like I've stated before, you put the two bigger ones there, it's going to look more fuller at this end and less here. So you want to equal it out and make sure you've got them, you know, both the same. So this one's the fuller one, so that will go this side. And just turn that around. Get the smaller one, and then place that like that. So then you've got all your Dusty Miller all along the bottom, all the way around. I thought I had a couple more of these. Oh, so there's one. Let me get another one. There we go. I'm just going to place these also in here. And I'm going to bring these slightly higher. And these just are the wispy bits, what give the airy feeling. Just clean the stem. I've had a look for you guys. If you can't afford a skillet pan like that, they do sell them on Amazon, cheaper than the one I bought. I've had a look. I think the cheaper one was around £20, so you can get them cheaper. So if you're interested, just have a quick look if you're really interested in getting one. Because honestly, they are much quicker. Even if you're not doing as much, you know, like I do, a lot of work, they're still good. They're still really good. And I'm going to put one on this side. As long as you've got that thermostat on your skillet pan, you know, skillet spelled S-K-I-L-L-E-T. It will come up, you know, obviously for your cooking and things like that, but it's cooking my glue, so that's that's another way how I look at it. And then I'm going to place this one in the centre as well. Right, there's a lot of greenery on there, guys. Again, I've got these. Now, do I add them? We'll see. I'll have to wait with the with those. I want to start adding in the floral, and I've got 4 sides, so I want 4 sunflowers. Let me just clean these as well, because these were my oddments. They've got dust on. I think some of these, yeah, I'm going to glue these on quite tight. I don't trust them when I feel that they're slightly loose. Now push it right up to the top and just remove any excess glue around it. Fluff up your flower. And what I'm going to do with these, in the centre, at the top, I'm just going to place it like that. And I'm going to do that on all 4 sides. So See, this one's slightly wobbly too. So I'll do the same. And remove the glue. I'll do it on this side. And then one each on either end. Just lift up your foliage. I love the different colours of sunflowers that you can get. Not just the yellow ones. I think the red and these and the red are one of my favourites. So now you have those all the way around as well. I'm not going to use no more Dusty Miller, I don't think. So we'll put those on the floor as well. Put those at the bottom here. So, right, let's have a go at our new little flowers. Let's check the leaves. Oh no, they're all right. Such a cheap flower, they're all right. Just bend them slightly over because there's no stem in here. So if you want to manipulate it, if I just move the leaf out the way, just get this right at the tip there and just hold it and press it into the main stem. Just a few seconds, and then that one goes to the side. And then do the same on that one, and then they're both parted. Instead of being really together, and then they can be sat and it looks like you've got more than one flower, you know, placed in. So I'm going to put one of those just sitting like that. I'll take the tag off of this as well. I'm going to take them all off. We're going to use them all. This one hasn't got a leaf on. This one's got 3 flowers on instead. So just again, do the same. Press them right, you know, in towards the main stem, and it will just, you know, manipulating it to just sit somewhere else instead of all of them close together. So now you've got them 3 apart, then instead of having that, which looks more natural. I'm going to put one on this corner, and then again, just do the same. They are very pretty little things. I might grab a few more of these. Very dainty. And they look lovely against the grey. They really do. I've got one left. I could cut another one off. So then I end up with 2. So then I could put one at the bottom here. Yeah, I'll grab another one and just chop it off the stem. Right at the bottom. do the same again. Always check your leaves, everybody. I state this a lot because I wouldn't want my customers coming back on me, you know, saying that the leaves look really, really thready. They're all falling apart. They want a refund. To avoid anything like that, always check. Right, I'm going to put this in the cellophane underneath the sunflower. So that is hanging down. And I'm going to do exactly the same on the opposite side. And I'll do it there. So there you have it, with your little pink flowers in, hanging all the way around. We've got loads of flowers here. Now, because I've only got 3, excuse me, I think I'm just going to put 2 in, 1 either side. I've had a look and I haven't got no more of this colour. I've got some similar on a bunch, but they're roses, so they're not exactly the same flower. So I'll have to order some more of these. So what I'm going to do with that, I'm going to sit this amongst the centre. Push it slightly down. Just fluff it up. And then that one's going to sit there. No, they're fine. Let's see if I could push that one down a little bit more. Just bend the head slightly. So there you have it on the opposite side as well. Don't that look pretty? We're not going to use that one because it's odd. Now you see I've got more of these. They'll look nice coming from out the side there. Let's just leave it a one moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, I've got 4 of these. 2 with 2 stems and 2 with 1. So 2 and 1, 2 and 1. I'm going to put these coming out from the sides to give it a different feeling, instead of having all the pretty flowers up at the top. Let's have a look if there's any spare. No, they're all on. Just push in as far as you can, or as far as you'd like to. And with this one, do the same here. Now this one is going to go in the centre. There. Now we've got all those little cerise coloured ones, the wildflower, that I'm going to sit around here on the bottom. So that's where I'm going to dot all of those around the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Got another one on there. So let's have a look. I like to work things out, so if I'm going to do it sort of like mirror image. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 2, 3. That might not need to be used. So let's get these dotted in. You don't have to cover all the paper, all your cellophane. It's not a necessity. You do it how you feel. That suits your style. I'm going to put one up here. Take that prong off. I don't like to see those. Makes it look unfinished. And you could do the same with these if you want to manipulate them over again and press them further out so they're not all looking like they're bunched together, then you can. Some people don't, think that because they've not got no stems you can't do anything with them. You can do plenty. They're really good. And again, a lot of floral now arriving at the bottom. So we're going to do the same on the opposite side. Makes it look more of a wild look. I like doing wild looks, me. I think they look, meadowy looks, I think they're lovely. One on this side. And then one in the centre. Just bend those over. And also by putting your flowers in through the cellophane, it also holds your cellophane into place. So there's one least thing you've got to worry about. Right, 1, 2, 3, so we don't want that one. Now I saw a bigger gap. That they can go on the side with them only being 2. Got more, but these were my oddments. I do love a Astrantia. There's the other one that you can get, what's called Billion Stars, the white one. That's a nice pretty one too. Very effective. They do look like little stars. Right, now we've got our carnations. I don't know about those. We'll put those on the floor. Right, 5. So I only want 4. 1, 2. If you've noticed, I'm working in even numbers today. So I don't just work in odd. If I have to work in even, I will. I don't mind. Now, because I could see some gaps on the edges, I want to bring these here. And these leaves on here push up as well. I don't tend to push these ones up to the top. I mean, they do look pretty. In fact, they may be used as depth. But usually I keep them like that, like the natural look. You know, you have one on carnations, that's how they are. One higher, then a space, then another one, then a space, and that's how they do it. But looking at that, I can use that as depth. So let's try it as depth. If it doesn't work, I'll use a spare one and replace it. Because I've got, yeah, that looks pretty. So I'm going to use them as depth. Just fluff them up. Squeeze them to the bottom. Just get your flower from the centre and move all your leaves down on either side. And this is with any carnations. And just press in your hand like that, like you're clenching your fist, and they come up looking like the natural. So that's how you fluff your carnations. Some may do it different, but I've always found by doing it that way, it actually brings them really up properly. And that's filled those gaps in each of those corners. I have fluffed these up before we started. So I'll do the same on this side. Put them in. I always suggest, you know, always have depth, because, you know, in your gardens, if you take a look around, or anybody's garden, your grandma's, your mum's garden, whichever, you will find that you will always have new flowers growing from the bottom, not just the top. And that's why we have depth. And that's what gives it more of a natural look. So let me just sort this out. This is bothering me, this eucalyptus. So we don't need that one. Right, we're going on to move on to our calla lilies. And this is going to give it our airiness. So I'm not just going to have these stuck out at the side, I'm going to have them all around, centre, you know, on the top. I'll do one here to show you, because it is a really big floral. Just here, look. Get the dust off of these. Put one on here. I'm just going to stick this upright. I'm not bending it, just sticking it upright, because this is quite one big, you know, really compact floral arrangement. I do want you to see that I do compact, not just, you know, the airiness. There will be a day where I'll show you Ikebana style. I'm not a professional at those, but I have done a few. So we will give that a go as well. Very, very minimalistic, guys. I think the video will probably be over in no more than 15 minutes. They're very minimalistic. So I did one for my neighbour. They're from Hong Kong. And I made them one. And they loved it. So you've got these coming out at the top. Again, like I say, I wasn't bothered about covering the palm, but you can still slightly see it. And I want some, I may get some more. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I want another 2. Let me just grab another 2 of the lilies. 1, 2. And these are all in the little basket. Isn't it wonderful what you can make out of a little container and make it look large? And people will not know. They think you've put it in a big container. And I'm just pushing those really far in. As far as they'll go. Same in this one. Through the cellophane. Really far. So they're at the bottom. So then you've got your lilies, calla lilies, giving you that airiness. You've got all your compact arrangement here. These are coming out for your airiness. You've got your flock fern that's also airy, you know, and there's other odd bits that come, you know, that are airy too. But the majority of it is all compact. The reason being that I'm putting these in is because you've got to give it a movement. You need movement in your display. And then one on the bottom here. For that movement there. I could put two out there, but yeah, I think I need something coming out at the bottom. So is this where I had, because I've got the Dusty Miller, this will cover the Dusty Miller. So I'm not going to use the maple. Because I've got a feeling it's just going to cover it, you know, because it's quite bulky, the leaf. So I could easily instead add some of the other fern, but the lighter one. The lighter fern instead of the darker one. Just to give that lightness at the bottom against the pinks. So we'll do that. Because ferns are airy, you can see through them. That's what I mean by airy. You can actually see through them. So I'm going to put this one. So it's got something there. I'm going to cut this one down. I don't want all of that. So we'll cut that. That one's there. Oops, the daisy. I may get 3 out of this one, guys. Yes. And again, these do bend like the other ones. So I'm putting these just above the Dusty Miller. So they lean over, and if they touch the surface, that's okay. Like I said, I like things to also touch on the bottom. So that's how that one looks. So I'm going to do the same here, above the Dusty Miller on the front. So that one leans over. Slightly manipulate it. I could put 6. I could put them around the sides as well, above the Dusty Miller. So let me just put this one in above this Dusty Miller. Then just bend it over. Yeah, I think I'm going to put some around the sides as well. Let's put another one. Right. I can still see the basket through it, but that's not a problem. I'm not here because if I'm going to put more and more and more and keep putting more in, it's going to look too overcrowded. Let me just take that off. I don't like that there. There. So yeah, it's going to look more overcrowded and it's just going to be too much. So it's overcrowded. It looks quite overcrowded at the moment, so I'm leaving space and that, you know, so you can see through and you can see the container that it is in. But I've hidden all my Oasis. That's one of my main points, that I can't see my Oasis. So let me just have a look. And this would look lovely. You could even put something like this, guys, at the side of a graveside. I have done a few things not in the actual grave pots that you put at the side of the gravestone, but in flower pots or things like that, or in little containers like this, and they've sat them there, and that's how they've had them. So I hope you liked what we did today. I sure did. I was buzzing when it came to actually, you know, when I'd been shopping this morning. I couldn't believe what bargains that they've got on. I will go to Wilko's again because that's shutting down. So that's another place to check out, ladies and gentlemen, is Wilko's. So if you've got one of those nearby, go and have a check. You may find, because they also do household things, you know, little baskets, containers, anything. They also do floral as well. Not a lot, but just a little bit. And I have bought some off of them before as well. And they are nice quality. So, and they are also at a reasonable price. So have a look there too. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's different to what we usually do. It's more compact, but it also has the airy feeling in it, you know, with the calla lilies, with the flock fern, you know, and your eucalyptus and things like that. So again, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you all tomorrow. So have a great day. So please subscribe and share to your friends and family. And thank you everybody, honestly, for your comments. I've read some earlier on this morning when I first woke up, because as soon as I get up, I think flowers. So I go onto my YouTube page to see if anybody new subscribed overnight, or if there's any new comments from the previous night. And I've spotted some this morning, and you know, guys, Julie, you know, well, your comment touched me. It really did touch my heart. So thank you so much. I saw the chat that you had with Sandra, and thank you so much, my darling. It's so overwhelming. And again, if you want to send some pictures to me, you know, just go on your email and attach a photograph to your email to theflowerpatch2401@gmail.com. So thank you kindly. Really, from the bottom of my heart, you are wonderful. So I will see you all again tomorrow. I've got some more work to do to finish off one of the funeral things, and then I've got to make a wreath. So have a great day, everybody. And once again, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.